Hey everyone, and welcome to this premium note. Today, we're decoding the ultimate blueprint for thriving in the digital economy, the OSI model. I am super excited to be your guide for this masterclass. We are going to take concepts that, honestly, can seem pretty intimidating, and we're going to break them down into clear, actionable, industry-grade knowledge. So, let's just dive right into it.
Have you ever stopped to think about it? How does a simple click on a website actually generate billions of dollars in the digital economy? I mean, every single time you load a web page, send an email, or stream a video, your device is quietly communicating with massive, multi-billion-dollar tech and AI infrastructures all over the globe. Understanding exactly how that data moves, well, that's literally a superpower in modern tech.
There's this fantastic quote from our sources that really hits the nail on the head. The OSI model is not just networking theory. It is the blueprint of the digital civilization. And it's so true. Mastering this framework isn't just about cramming for academic exams. It is the absolute foundational, non-negotiable mental model if you want to be a future-ready professional, a cloud engineer, or a digital entrepreneur.
Okay, here is our game plan for this note. We'll start with the blueprint to digital wealth, then we'll move down through the software executives, cross over the transport bridge, and really dive into the hardware shipping fleet. After that, we'll look at real-world cloud and AI applications before wrapping up with my favorite part, exactly how you can monetize this expertise.
All right, part one, the blueprint to digital wealth, from chaos to clarity.
To really appreciate the OSI model, we have to understand the massive headache it was built to solve. Way back before 1984, we had what you could call chaos networking. Early networks were entirely proprietary. Like, if you bought IBM equipment, it only talked to other IBM equipment. It was this massive vendor lock-in that just completely strangled innovation. But then, the International Organization for Standardization, the ISO, stepped in and created the 7-layer OSI model. It organized the chaos. It brought modularity, meaning you could finally swap out a physical network cable without having to literally rewrite your entire software application. A total game changer.
Moving right along to Section 2, Software Layers, User Interaction. I like to call these the executives.
These top 3 layers are all about user interaction, and they operate purely in software. They're the executives of the network stack. Layer 7 is the application layer. It's the one closest to you, providing protocols like HTTP for your web browser, SMTP for your email, and FTP for transferring files. Then we step down to Layer 6, the presentation layer. Think of this as your translator and your secure vault. It handles data formatting, compression, and absolutely crucial, encryption. Finally, we have Layer 5, the session layer. This acts like an event coordinator. Its whole job is establishing, maintaining, and then cleanly terminating the communication connection between applications.
Now for Section 3, Transport Layer, the bridge. This is your middle management logistics.
But before we cross this bridge, connecting those software executives up top to the hardware down below, we really need to grasp a core concept: Protocol Data Units, or PDUs for short. See, as data moves down through the layers, it changes form. It gets wrapped in new information. We call that process encapsulation. Understanding exactly how data changes its PDU at every single layer, that is a non-negotiable skill for enterprise-level troubleshooting and system design.
So how does the transport layer, Layer 4, actually handle this? Well, it takes that big chunk of data from the software layers and slices it down into much smaller, manageable PDUs called segments. It uses protocols like TCP to guarantee reliable, sequence delivery all the way across the internet. Plus, it actively manages flow control so it doesn't accidentally overwhelm the receiver. It's really the ultimate logistics manager, making sure everything gets where it needs to go, in the right order.
Section 4, Hardware Layers, the infrastructure. Welcome to the shipping fleet.
As we descend further, things get physical. Layer 3 is the network layer. This is the realm of routers and global IP addressing, moving your data packets across different networks worldwide. Then, Layer 2 is the data link layer, handling local delivery using MAC addresses and switches, packaging the data into what we call frames. And finally, Layer 1, the physical layer. This is where those frames are converted into raw ones and zeros,
literal bits transmitted over physical copper cables, fiber optic light pulses, or even Wi-Fi radio waves.
When you map all this out, it brilliantly illustrates how the whole shebang comes together. You can clearly match the layers directly to their specific PDUs and hardware. Data starts as a segment at layer 4 using TCP or UDP, becomes a packet at layer 3 on a router, turns into a frame at layer 2 on a switch, and is finally just a bit at layer 1 over the cables. Honestly, if you're gearing up for IT certifications like CCNA or Network Plus, or you just want to be a top-tier troubleshooter, you need to burn this mapping into your memory. It is your ultimate decoder ring.
Which brings us to Section 5, Real-World Cloud and AI, Modern Applications.
So, you might be wondering, how does a blueprint from the 1980s power the cutting-edge digital economy we have today? Well, you'll probably hear a lot about the TCP/IP model. It's a more condensed, 4-layer model that actually runs the practical day-to-day implementation of the modern internet. But make no mistake here, the OSI 7-layer model remains the absolute undisputed granular mental model used globally for engineering, cybersecurity analysis, and system design. Think of it this way. TCP/IP is the highway you drive on, but OSI, that's the engineering schematic you use to build it and fix it.
To really visualize this flow, imagine an email's journey. You hit send at layer 7. That data gets encrypted at layer 6, segmented at layer 4, packetized with an IP address at layer 3, framed with a MAC address at layer 2, and then boom, shot across a wire as bits at layer 1. And the cool part, when it reaches the recipient's mail server, that exact same process happens in reverse, flowing all the way back up the stack until it perfectly appears on their screen.
Now today, this layer architecture is actively being managed by artificial intelligence. Powerful tools like Cisco AI Network Analytics and automated Python scripts aren't just sitting there monitoring networks anymore. They're actively analyzing layer 3 traffic anomalies in real time to stop cyber attacks dead in their tracks. They're predicting hardware failures down at layer 1 and dynamically managing cloud-native routing. Networking today is heavily automated, for sure. But remember this, you can only automate what you deeply understand.
And that leads us to Section 6, monetize your networking expertise, build wealth.
Deeply understanding the OSI model isn't just about passing technical tests. It directly translates to digital income. You can parlay this knowledge into high-paying enterprise roles like a cloud architecture engineer, DevOps, or a SOC analyst. Or if you're more entrepreneurial, you can take the freelance route, configuring VPNs, doing network setups, or performing cyber audits on platforms like Upwork. You can even build an audience by creating your own digital content, like YouTube tutorials, or scale all the way up to a consulting business offering managed IT services for SaaS infrastructure. The opportunities here are just massive.
So, if you're fired up and want to start right now, here is a fast-paced, actionable 30-day roadmap. Week 1, master those OSI layers and IP addressing. Week 2, get hands-on with packet analysis using industry-standard tools like Wireshark. Week 3, actually build a virtual home lab using Cisco Packet Tracer or GNS3 so you can practice setting up VLANs. By week 4, you'll be completely ready to explore how these core concepts map directly to cloud networking and cybersecurity. Because taking action, that's the bridge between having knowledge and creating value.
We've covered the complete stack today, from the software executives all the way down to the physical shipping fleet, and explored exactly how this knowledge translates into career wealth and AI integration. The entire digital economy completely relies on these networks. So I'm going to leave you with this one thought. If the OSI model is truly the blueprint of digital civilization, what are you going to build with it? Master the layers. Master the internet. Thanks so much for joining me in this premium note. Keep learning, keep building, and I will see you next time.